We
Yo.
back.
We're back.
Another week.
Another week. It's the DanYo&Tita podcast. Episode
16?
16.
16, my
Yeah.
God.
16 is a good number.
Happy 16.
We almost 20, y'all.
Yeah. 16 was when I first got something.
Wow.
That's when I
Tia
got
didn't
something
know
when I was
that.
16
Good
years
year.
old.
That was a good year.
You know
Tia
what I'm
said she
saying?
didn't know that.
Tia didn't know
Well,
that.
Tita don't know nothing.
Tia don't know her.
You already know.
Remember that.
You good.
Yeah, let's
Get
get
it
it.
popping. I'm Daniel.
I'm Tita.
Aisha.
I'm Dip.
I am the Nate the Great.
Most definitely. We got a special guest in the building.
Yes, sir.
I ain't shit.
What?
We got a special guest
She's
in
like,
the
I
building.
ain't shit.
Yeah.
This man is a legend out here in AZ.
Mhm.
A pioneer, role model, a genius.
Ah, man, you gotta cut that role model shit out. I ain't know.
A mastermind,
Mastermind, definitely.
creative.
Definitely a creator.
Shock, you going?
Man, I'm coming here. I'm coming here more
Keep it
often.
coming.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Y'all are the truth.
ladies and gentlemen, we
Facts.
have
He said it, not me.
Justice
What's happening?
in the building.
Yo.
Get the clap.
Get the clap.
Oh, yeah,
What?
yeah,
Clap.
clap.
Gotta
Get
go.
the clap.
Get my class and get my
Welcome to the show, man. We're honored to have you.
How's you doing, sir? How you doing?
Man, thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it. It's an honor to be here.
No,
Oh,
sir.
anytime.
Man, let's get it started. You know why you're here.
Yeah, we
You
here.
know why you're here. You're
We
here
in the building.
because the annual
The sixth. The
Sixth.
sixth annual.
6th annual.
Not the first, not the
Correct
second,
me,
not the
'cause I wanna
third,
make
not
sure
the
I say it
fourth.
right.
Yeah, this is sixth annual. They said it couldn't be
Bigger
done.
every year.
yeah.
Yeah, we get bigger every year. It's beautiful. It's more beautiful every year. Like every year is a blessing.
Yeah, man. It's dope as fuck,
Most
man.
definitely.
Busy man, still
Busy.
getting calls.
Yeah, that's an artist trying to get on the festival. That's an artist trying to
That's
get on the
actually
festival right
that's
there.
actually
That's
my
what we
my alarm to be here that I kept like
Oh, man.
putting on snooze because I was.
Man, we got Justice in the building. Like I said, we're here for the annual 6th.
The 6th annual Arizona Hip Hop
Yeah.
Festival.
Hip
Yes,
Hop
sir.
Festival.
I got my what's the year 3?
That's the year 3 T-shirt.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
we got
saying?
my face
Courtesy
on
of
it,
support
you know.
support District
That's
Radio.
dope.
Most definitely.
Man, she came out with hella T-shirts that year. And what was crazy is at the vendor booth that you guys had like a 40 by 40. It was the biggest vendor booth I've ever seen. And artists were walking up to the booth and seeing themselves on a T-shirt. Like they weren't even like giving it like, oh my God, I'm on a shirt.
Right?
I remember the homie from Vibe Lane seeing himself on there, 30 Spice, and he was like, yo, bruh, whoa. You know what I'm saying? It just made him feel good. So it's like, man, every year it grows and it's a community event. And this year, I mean, we really like shutting down the entire city block like we did last
dope.
year.
Right.
But we have a new home at the press room at 441 West Madison.
Yes,
Wow.
definitely.
Shout out to the press room. Shout out to the director of operations, Caleb Branch, for making it great.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Like he really helped us take it to the next level.
Definitely. Shout out to the press room. Right there. Give me the hand.
Oh, he goes
That's
back.
what's
He's
up.
been in hip hop a long time himself, Caleb.
Yeah. I mean, low key, quiet as kept. He was my manager
Really?
for
Oh,
Cutthroat
word.
Logic. Yeah,
Wow.
Caleb
That's
Branch
what's up.
managed Cutthroat Logic
I didn't
from
know that.
approximately 2009 until we retired in 2013.
Yeah.
But he was always actively our manager. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He created a bunch of dope opportunities. He made his headway in the music game. You know, and we were always close friends, but like he parted off and did his own thing with Money,
Mhm.
Power, Respect.
Yeah.
And then he, tapped in at the press room. Now he's running the press room. And then we came back, circled back around.
Oh, that's dope,
Low
man.
key, he is responsible for us being at Comerica Theater.
Wow.
America, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
he
the
called
that's the original.
The
spot.
original.
The
So,
original,
so,
right.
The original spot was Comerica.
Yes,
And then,
so in year one, we created the RTU Takeover Weekend.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that was like the test run for the festival. I was like, man, can we do like 3 events in 3 days?
Right.
We sure as shit did. We went to Jaguars, you know what I'm saying, home of the Arizona Hip Hop Festival after party. They've been rocking with us for 7 years. Big Rick over there, he really shows us love. And we did the first night at Jag, second night at Joe's Grotto, third night at it was third day show at Sundays at Joe's Grotto. I don't know if y'all
Mhm.
remember the Sunday shows we
Oh,
used
yeah,
to throw.
yeah.
That-
Up next
you
Sundays.
had me up there.
Yeah.
Man, the Up Next Sundays were like my favorite, like as we grew as a company, because we had such a high demand of artists that wanted to get down.
Mhm.
But Joe was like, fam, I only got like one Saturday a month for you. And I was like, okay, so what else is open? And he'd be like, I mean, fuck, you could do a Sunday. And I'm like, if I'm doing a Sunday, I'm doing a Sunday afternoon.
Right.
because ain't nobody partying on Sunday night.
Right.
Like that's just for
Right.
we'd only have like 30 degenerates with no jobs,
Right.
and like there wouldn't be nobody who had like a family. You know what I'm saying? So we made it family friendly, and it popped in the first week. The first little takeover popped, and we did it. And then Caleb called me a couple months later, and he was like, "Yo, Comerica Theater, they trying to get down. They would like to do a local event."
Nice.
And I was like, "Well, that's a big house. If I'm gonna go to Comerica Theater, then we're gonna have to put together a real proposal." And I have a proposal for the Arizona Hip Hop Festival.
Wow.
And he was like, "You gonna throw an all local festival?" And I said, "Yeah." And he starts laughing, and he was like, "Fuck, okay, how many acts?" And I'm like 100 on 3 stages. And at the time, 100 acts on 3 stages and over an 8-hour span was like insane. It was unheard of.
No, it's insane.
It's
You're a straight up mastermind to even think of it.
Yeah.
It was mastermind.
Yo, imagine the panic attacks when you're trying to stage manage and logistically break down the time management of the first festival.
Yeah.
I almost had a heart attack.
I bet, man.
I was up like, getting my nightcap, putting something in the air. Shout out to my sponsor. And he got hit with that, that sativa anxiety. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? Where you're just like, oh my God, how the fuck am I gonna do this?
Yeah.
But we did it.
You guys
we
figured
did
it out.
Yeah, and it's been good every year.
And I know
It's
the
been how many
logistics are
years
crazy.
now?
Yeah, the New
6
Times
years.
called it a logistical nightmare in
I
year
bet.
1. And yeah, they dead ass called it a logistical nightmare and said would I collapse under the weight of my own ambition?
Right.
And I'm gonna get that tattooed on me. I swear to God,
Man.
I will
Justus
never.
is what's that book called? The Secret. He's the
The
walking
Secret.
secret.
Yeah.
Yeah, manifestation. We manifested Master P, manifested Hip Hop Day.
Yeah.
You would never think that these, like my wife, my whole company used to like joke because when I would speak of No Limit, I would be like, yo, so when we partner with Master P, we're gonna start this No Limit Global shit.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, word, when we partner with Master P.
Yeah.
And I'm talking 2012.
Right.
I never once said if. I always said when.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you that. Blaze, Felix, they'll all tell you like this dude, we used to make fun of him. Like, oh yeah. And then it became when I take Jay-Z and Beyonce out to dinner. Because it's like outlandish shit. You know what I'm saying? But I got what's called the magic whiteboard at the house inside the office, and I wrote partnership Master P No Limit Global 2015.
That's the shit.
Halloween 2015. I swear to God, I was in that man's office. You know what I'm saying?
Like it was yesterday, man.
Yeah.
It was a big
I
boom.
missed taking my son trick-or-treating for the first time.
Mhm.
And I was like, yo, babe, I gotta go. I'm going to LA. And she's like, why? I'm going to see Master P. And she was like, get the fuck out of here. I've been talking about it for fucking 3 years. I almost erased it off the board like 3 times, but I was like, I'm not erasing this shit. It's gonna happen.
Right.
Sure as shit. Shout out to Tweezy for making it happen.
That's dope.
And that was year 2.
Because I originally Cutthroat Logic.
Yes, sir.
Arizona,
CTLTAF.
Legendary hip hop group.
Definitely
Y'all,
legendary.
y'all were doing big things when y'all was in the group.
Right.
Y'all showed it was like you were showing a blueprint even back then. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't
The
know
moves
who
y'all
you
making.
were yet, but I had already heard of CTL. You know what I mean? I had already heard of the group, and when I met you, and I didn't even realize that you was in the group yet. Until a little while after I met you, like, damn, this dude, that's crazy. This is a motherfucker, man. But you set the blueprint, man, and you guys, like I said, man, when I first got here, I was like, man, these dudes here doing their thing, man, and y'all the ones that made me start realizing what was going on out here, man, and I definitely want to pay respect to that group. What you guys was doing,
Thank you.
man.
Cutthroat Logic today and forever. They'll never die. But the rap group itself, the set's still around. Like everybody still got their tattoos and we're still all friends. But like when it came time for us to just move on, it was my guys all retired. They tapped out. They're like, you know what? We've been in the game 15 years.
I was going to my question.
Like,
did you know that you was gonna go and do these different levels that you had reached?
In what regard? In Cutthroat?
While you were in the group, knowing that the group was going to eventually,
all things come to an end. You know what I'm saying?
Did you know that did you think of start promoting hip hop shows, having respect Underground Railroad, respect the Underground, Arizona Hip Hop Festival? Probably got something else you're gonna do. I know you.
Yeah, we will.
So what made you start just saying, okay, let me give the opportunity to other people who are trying to come up and rap?
Yeah.
So what happened was we had recorded the last project, Lights Go Out, and we signed a licensing deal with MTV to just license it for TV and movies and all that. We thought that was a big deal. It was really, we kind of low-key got fucked, but it was a great opportunity because we're still getting placements. We're still getting checks. They might be little baby checks, but we still get, the music is still circulating. So it's cool. the most notable placement was on a platinum, or excuse me, went 6 times platinum. Is a Battlefield Hardline, the video game. We got 2 records on there.
Yeah,
So I mean, it's cool, but you know, it went a whole lot of bread in it. But what we decided is like we had this last album, and I'm looking at my best friend Deontay, and I'm like, fam, I think this is it for us. You know what I'm saying? Because I could smell it on him. He was just
Right.
burnt. You know, not burnt. That's a bad word. He was coming to the end of his path where he
Right.
was like, yo, I'm gonna start a family. I'm
Right.
trying to, you know, find a
Right.
career. Because we never really we made money from music, but we never made enough to provide for our
Right.
families.
Right.
You know,
Right.
we always had to jug on the side
Right.
to make sure that our families were provided for. And we got hella kids. I got 5 kids. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? So like there's no off days for me. But when we knew it was the last project, I was like, yo, how about we market this first Underground Railroad as our final album? Like this is our final album release party. Let's make a big deal out of it because that ensured, because we've been selling out local rap concerts for less, you know, since literally 1999, 2000. Like we've been selling out.
Yeah.
500 plus, 600 plus. Our album release party in 04 did 1,000 plus. Police on horses came and said, if you don't stop letting people in, we're going to shut you down.
Oh.
And there's no
Word.
internet, there's no radio, there's no support. This is all word of mouth in
Yeah.
2004. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And to have an album release party do that, those numbers was just unheard of.
Right.
Right.
So we did that, and the next day you could like see a tumbleweed blow across the street. It was like crickets because we didn't know what to do next, and our manager robbed us for all the bread. So it was like,
Oh, man.
what are we gonna do? We should have gone on tour. We were ready to tour. We had already toured, and we had established fan bases in other markets. But how do you, like, without the internet, it's a different ball game. You gotta really call these people. And email was still like a not really, you know, like you email a motherfucker, you might get a response a month
Right.
later.
Mhm.
So it was like sending snail mail. So it
Mhm.
was just a lot of learning experiences. But anyways, we get to the end of the road, and I'm like, let's launch it. Let's do this, and I'm gonna launch this little company, and I'm gonna try to help others, but we're gonna do us first,
Right.
so we can ensure the success of the
Right,
first
right.
event.
Word.
Did it, 600 plus, boom, popped. Everything is cool, and I sit back, and I'm like, damn, what are we gonna do next? So I called my guy Trap. Because I've been rocking with Trap for like 3 or 4 years, and every time he had something cooking or we were doing something big, that's my go-to.
Right.
I'm bringing out Too Short, I'm calling Trap.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm doing a label showcase, I'm calling Trap. Like Trap is my first call for every event that I have to where I don't want to perform.
Wow.
Like he's my cutthroat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm calling him because I know he's gonna flood the dub
Right.
with just promo, and the dub gonna come out full
Yeah.
force.
Mhm.
We're gonna pull up 500 deep. There's not
Right.
many people that
Right.
can do that in the city in real life. They
Yeah.
might talk about it on the internet.
Yeah.
But when it comes to real life human beings in an
No,
event,
yeah,
it's
it
another
is.
ball game.
Nah, not many had the
Yeah.
movement that man.
That man had a
So,
movement.
You did a show, people came out.
Yeah. I mean, I cut that man $1,000 check that looked like the size of a lottery check. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we would just do shit, and I'd be like, dog, like let's get it.
Mhm.
And I called him. I said, big homie, you got an album ready, like a real album? Because he'd been dropping mixtapes.
Right.
I'm like, we got a real album. Like, I know you got something cooking. He was like, fam, I got Kiss My Converse ready to rock and roll. And I'm calling him.
I remember that.
I'm calling him in January, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna throw this first RTU event,
Mhm.
and I want to do an album release party for you, for Kiss My Converse. I'm like, let's just team up, and let's see what we can do. And this was the first time that I experimented with teaching others the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna literally anybody who plays one of our events,
Mhm.
they soak up enough game where if they got a half a cent to them, they can do it on their own. They don't need us anymore.
Right.
Now they're gonna need a little bit of capital to make it happen, or they can just come to us and we can do a partnership and they can eat.
Right.
But he was like, bet. So we did it March 23rd, 2012. 732 people showed up. It was the biggest event I have ever done with somebody else, without me on the bill, without Cutthroat on the bill, without the support of what I knew I could depend on, because you can only throw so many events a year
Right.
before you burn out.
Right. Definitely.
We did that with him 3 times that year. And each time we did them about 4 or 5 months apart. We dropped Kiss My Converse, then we dropped Ric Flair.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I'm
remember
saying?
that.
We dropped Ric Flair in November,
That
like
worked.
10 months
Yeah.
later, and then he played like Underground Kings with me. You feel me? So
Mhm.
like it was magic. Like when we saw that, me and Blaze looked at each other, I'm like, we got something.
Yeah.
This is it. And to continue that was challenging, because I was trying to only work with like the cool kids and the best of the best.
Yeah.
I was trying to keep these events like super quality.
Right.
Like I wanted every act who came on just fire. And like we were dropping mixtapes with every ticket. So Blaze would press up like we would press up thousands of mixtapes,
Mhm.
and they would come free with a ticket. You buy
Yeah.
2 tickets to the show,
Yeah.
No, I remember
then
that.
you get a mixtape, with everybody on the show,
Mhm.
and the drops in between the songs are TUR 2.0, March 23rd, trap release party, kiss my Converse. You know what I'm saying? So instead of DJ Khaled, it was like a commercial.
Right.
Yeah, word.
And man, putting these mixtapes together was pulling teeth. Like to get everybody to get their music. You know what I'm saying? It was just a tremendous amount of work.
Right.
So we did that, and it continued, and then we had to start Up Next Sundays because I had this registration process online where I was like, man, let's just see who wants to get down.
Right.
We had thousands of people register.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck. And some of them are not like ready for a Saturday night headline, like primetime concert. It's just, they're not there.
Right.
And they know that. Like they can't sell 2 tickets to their fucking barbecue,
Right.
let alone a fucking concert. So like we created Up Next Sunday, and then it eventually evolved into the company. You know, Respect Underground was a t-shirt for Underground Railroad.
Right.
And I got an auntie, you know, she's a lawyer, African American, and she flexed on me at Christmas. She was like, your Anglo-Saxon ass cannot have a company called Underground Railroad. And I looked at her and I was like, really? At Christmas? Really, auntie? Really?
Right.
You know, and she was like, yes, really, you need to change it. And I'm like, well, we're thinking about it anyway, because we dropped this dope ass t-shirt called Respect Underground, and I just don't want to start a new LLC. And she was like, you need to. It's a call to action. It's a better look. So I was like, all right, bet. So not for nothing, like that's why we changed the name of the company, because
one of my
Respect the
questions.
Underground is a call to action.
Okay. See, Justus already answered my questions.
Hey, hey.
What's going on here? You know what
He's
I'm
on
saying?
it.
So you were gonna ask why we changed the name of the company?
I was gonna ask you that.
Right.
Most definitely. So Arizona Hip Hop Festival, October 16th.
No, sir. That's actually
November
like in 2 days,
16th.
and I would shit myself if it was October.
October
16th.
16th. Okay.
No, November
November
16th and 17th. It's a 2-day event.
17th.
Yeah, 2-day event. 2-day event at the press room downtown Phoenix.
Yeah.
We shutting down the entire city block. If you can pull it up on the, I can show you the footprint. From 5th Avenue to 4th Avenue, Madison to Jackson,
Wow.
we will be shutting down the
Shutting
entire
down
city
blocks.
block surrounding the press room. So there'll be a fence line surrounding the press room. We'll have 6 stages total, right there in between the sheriff's headquarters, 911 dispatch, and county jail. So it is the safest fucking festival on the face of the earth.
Word.
There will be no smoke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We will walk you to county, and if you on your fuck shit, you're gonna have a free room and board for the night.
Yeah.
How many?
But,
how many stages?
We got 6 total. We got
6
five
total.
official stages, 1 micro stage. You know,
Okay.
open mic.
Open mic stage.
AZMT going to be running it with Regenerate. It's going to be beautiful. You know, we got the main stage with Support District Radio. You know, we got all the sponsors on deck that have been rocking with us. What's crazy is that in year 6, like everybody knows what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not reaching out and calling people and being like, hey, so we got this like crazy ass all day local festival
Mhm.
that I'd like you to come work. Nah, ain't none of that.
They
Like
already
it's
know
all
that-
my
they already
people
know
hitting me like, yo, bet we ready. What's happening?
Right.
You know, and they're hitting me
What's
like
going on?
months in
What am I doing?
advance. Yeah,
That's
what's
dope.
my job? What am I doing? Where's my
That's dope.
stage? How
Yeah.
many DJs do I need to bring?
That's
You know
dope.
what I'm saying? And people
Yeah.
are just hype.
Mhm.
So it's like, okay, fuck. Now we have to recalibrate like how we're going to structure this. And the reason that we went to press room ultimately is one, it was too big last year.
Wow.
Like the footprint was too big. It was too much space between stages and consumers
Okay.
and attended supporters that came to attend were like, they get stuck at that main stage on first. They wouldn't even venture to inside the nightclub.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But if you walked into the nightclub, you post up. You weren't
Yeah.
going to First Street. You weren't
Right.
walking unless you were hungry to go over to the food trucks or to
Right,
use the
right.
restroom or see the visual artists.
Mm.
Right.
And I was like, man, we got to have this all on one cohesive
Right.
footprint. So in order to do that, we condensed it.
Okay.
So now there's no re-entry. There's one point of entry. You come in and you can actually see 4 of the stages. If you stand in the middle of the press room parking lot, you'll be able to see
That's smart.
That's
4
dope.
stages.
That's smart.
You know, from like
Wow.
a few hundred from like, but it's like a block.
Right.
You know, it's a full block
Mhm.
distance between the stages, but they're all pointed different directions. So
Right.
you got, you know, like our sponsors are making these stages possible. Like 4 Peaks Brewery came in,
That's dope.
Anheuser-Busch. So we're going to be drinking Arizona beer. We're going to be
Oh.
eating Arizona food trucks and having like I'm a foodie. I know y'all. You know,
Yeah.
like
You down?
I brought the top 12 food trucks in my opinion in the valley. Like these are my
Okay.
favorite. We got soul food. We got chicken and waffles. We've got the elote man. We've got a couple of Mexican trucks with tacos and these crazy sandwiches. We got a dude that owns a soul food restaurant in Levine, and he's gonna be making jambalaya. You know what I'm saying? And catfish.
Right.
Like it's just all comfort
Me
food.
hungry right
It's
now.
all
I'm
comfort
doing
food.
that too.
Yeah. So you
That's
got
the
these
shit,
food,
man.
this Arizona business. We're supporting Arizona small
Yeah,
business.
man.
We're drinking Arizona craft beer.
Right.
We got Arizona marijuana cannabis companies with AZ Green Life. Get your med card.
Right.
We got True Med Dispensary, arguably the best dispensary in the valley. They're a boutique. And their flower, like they shitting on everybody. Ain't nobody fucking with True Med. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta take it easy when I go into True Med. They give me a half sip. It lasts me a year.
Oh, goodness.
You know what I'm saying? You take a little hit to the face, it's a wrap. You know, it's over for me. But you have all that, and that's what and this year we even brought in Monster Energy and Cypher 602. So we're gonna have a b-boy element with Cypher 602 is actually gonna have a kid battle. Yeah, we got a kid battle on Saturday. Then we have the Monster Energy Breakers doing a show like every 2 hours where they're going to be doing flips over like 10 people. Yep. Yeah, so we have the fourth element, and then we even have a graffiti competition sponsored by Just Blaze. So people are coming in, they're buying paint, and they're going to be painting live on the fence line.
That's so dope, man.
Shout out to Blaze.
Yeah, Just Blaze.
You gotta have all the elements, and that's what I like about it, man. That y'all have all the elements right now. Y'all bringing in the hip hop, y'all bringing in the b-boying, y'all got the MCing, everything. Every element of hip hop is gonna be there that night, so that day. So if you miss out, you missing out on what AZ hip hop is about, and what we all bringing to the table out here.
You're really missing out on an incredible event. It's just a good time, and it's different. It's not like you can go to the club every weekend in Scottsdale. You can go to the club every weekend downtown, but it's not going to be like this is a community function based on civic pride. Like we all out there supporting each other and seeing like, man, I didn't know that Rico Bands was making diamond grills on site. Mesa Gold Grills making gold grills on site. You know what I'm saying? You got Antoinette Colley. She got 50 visual artists that are painting live.
Dope artists.
And these artists have gone viral for their work all over the world. But like, we don't know they exist in Phoenix because we're just not tapped in.
Right.
Yeah, we're not.
You come to the Arizona Hip Hop Festival and you're going to get put up on game on who is doing what. You got all these newcomers and new fresh faces that are on the earlier time blocks that are going throughout the day, and then come, you know what I'm saying, 4 or 5 o'clock, you got your headliners. Yeah. And literally, I'm going to say this right now, and I want you, when Facebook reminds us of this memory, a year from now, the festival will be sold out this year by like 6, 7 o'clock at the latest. Like, you need to get there early or you will be stuck in line. And until someone leaves, you won't be able to get in. Because it's going to be, we're going to do the numbers that we did last year, but we do not have the space or capacity to maintain that. So once it hits capacity, I'm going to put an apology and I'm going to be like, hey, I really do apologize. Everybody waiting in line right now, but we sold the fuck out.
That's the shit, though.
How many artists?
We have over 350 performers this year.
Over 350. So
Yeah.
is that being split
between the 2 days? Yes, absolutely. You know, got about 175 per day if you include everybody who's rocking the open mic. And this year we're running the open mic a little bit differently. If an artist comes in and they just don't feel comfortable with the push, then we just gift them, 10, 20 tickets. Hey man, check it out. Just pull up to the open mic, bring your flash drive, a couple songs, sign up with AZMT, and we got you covered.
That's dope.
You're helping artists out, even if they're not even on the roster.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
You get a mom that bring in her kid. You know what I mean? I don't feel comfortable taking money from kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to have them sell tickets. I'll be like, hey, little homie, check it out. Here's a bunch of tickets. Give them to all your friends. Tell them you're performing. Come sign up. You're going to have to wait in line like the DMV.
Right.
When they call your name, go up there and do your thing. Because shout out to A-Train. Like, this young man started on the open mic.
That's my next question was going to be.
Yeah, 5 years ago. He second hip hop festival. He hopped on that open mic. He did his thing. He came to me. He was like, big homie, I'm trying to get down.
Right.
I was like, bet, pull up, let's work. He's on the main stage prime time Sunday this year. Like, that kid climbed the ladder, did everything he was supposed to do, dropped a mixtape with us his first album with us last year, did like 200 plus on his own.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? One of the happiest I've ever seen him. But to be able to provide that platform to a young man and watch him grow over a 5-year span, that's what it's all about.
That's what it's about, man. That's dope, man.
And then I like how you promoting the artists. You got the poster with everybody's face on it. What's that poster that's out right now? All the headliners on it right now with the festival.
That was actually just something we did to like low key troll.
Hey, man, that's dope. I like that.
Because we had all the artists who had come in or who had came into the office by that time. Like we had like a couple hundred pictures. Like, we're taking all these pictures. Every flyer you see, one of my staff is taking that picture in the photo booth.
Yeah.
It's like a 4-step process. It has to get the picture taken, send it to graphics. Graphics sends it back. Then we send it. Like, we got video drops. Like, we really wanted to make the artist feel special and step our game up from the marketing standpoint. So like we had all these crop pictures, and Felix is just in there cooking up. He's like, I got an idea, and he put together like a fake New Times cover. Like it's not a real New Times cover, but we will release the roster with the New Times October 18th, as we do every year.
Definitely.
So we did it to be like, yo, if you want to be in this roster announcement, hit us up. Like, because we get a tremendous amount of inquiries, but people aren't as, they don't have no sense of urgency.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They don't want to like we run a business. You're going to show up on time. You're going to talk business, and we're going to break it down.
Right.
And no matter what, we're going to work with you somehow, some way.
Mhm.
I'm not going to tell you, nah, you ain't get the fuck out of my office. Like there's none of that.
Right.
Like it's how can we help you? How can we give you a good experience so you don't overextend yourself and you can be a part of this and feel good about it? And we figure it out. But not everybody's about that. You know what I'm saying? They want to show up, hella blowed, 4 hours late. Like, yo, y'all still there? Nah, man, we went home.
Right.
Like it's 3 a.m. No one's in the office.
You know, I see you. You get a lot of grief online, man, from a lot of people, man.
Yeah, we get a lot of criticism.
And I see you going in with a guy just yesterday, day before, and you know, the people give you grief for this. To me, it seems like their own issues with the issue that what you're doing, and I really don't understand. I never understand this, but how do you handle the heat and the hate that you get on a daily basis, man, and still keep this positive fucking attitude that you keep? And still keep trying to help these fuckers, even though they always trying to down what you fucking doing, man.
Clap back, baby. Clap back.
Clap back,
Ain't
really?
Northside ain't raised no bitch. What's happening? The address is in the bio. If they really wanted smoke, they would pull up. No one's pulled up in the history of the company. So what's happening? Like it's all just online, blah blah blah.
Right.
So like,
like,
worth the clap back though.
Man, I clap back with love and kindness. I clap back with facts.
Yeah.
I'm not over here like slandering or calling names or disrespecting nobody. I'm like, what's up? You got a problem?
Right.
And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, what's the problem? And they'll say it, and I'll be like, well, this is what it is. Hit my DM or pull up to the office.
Right.
And very rarely does it. And sometimes they call me and we talk it out and they apologize. Or I apologize. Like it was something that maybe we dropped the ball. Like we had an artist who was angry last year because unfortunately his name got left out of the schedule. Man, do you know how hard it is to put together a schedule for a 2-day festival?
Yeah.
Like it's a tremendous responsibility. And my wife and our graphic design department and like all of our staff, like we do our best. We go through that schedule with a fine tooth comb.
Yeah.
We forgot one person.
Right.
Out of 357 acts, we forgot one person. And he was like, I'm never working with you again. And I'm like, all right, bet. Well, I'm sorry. If you want to come back this year, I'll take care of you and it's on us. Like I'll give you these tickets. Like I apologize. Now he's right. He coming back. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of it is just a conversation.
I mean, anybody that's hating your movement, let them hate because they gotta understand the process. They gotta understand what you're doing for Arizona hip hop,
Right.
the impact you're making. I mean,
For the community.
you know, even
Definitely.
especially over the years, if you're not understanding what Justice is doing at this point,
What we are doing, we are
Yeah,
community. Y'all are a part of it. Everybody does it. Like this
everything.
isn't just me or RTU. Like if it wasn't for the community coming together as a whole, this wouldn't be possible.
Right.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have an actual
Yeah.
hip hop fucking day that you
Right.
you
The
National
Congressman
hip-hop
Stanton made
day.
happen. Like we got some things in the works that are going to be even bigger than Hip Hop Day, but we'll talk about that closer to the festival. But the bottom line is typically people slander the event. The number one thing I see when people slander is all these fucking no names. I don't know this motherfucker. Who is this? And I'm like, fam,
Well, ain't that
How
the
dare
purpose
you?
of the event is
Yeah.
to get those people's names.
that's the
out there?
purpose of Respect the Underground as a
Right.
whole. So I'm like, so you telling me that because I give people their first opportunity and I believe in people before they're famous. Shout out
Right.
to Ali Tamanique. He was a
Right.
headliner in year 3.
Right.
yeah.
Now he's on Netflix. Now he's
Right.
doing movies. Now he
Doing
just
big
won a little
things,
Doritos
man.
challenge. You know,
Big
I put that
things.
boy on
Doing
and
that
put bread in his pocket
Yeah, man.
Yep.
when I saw him popping.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Odd Squad family.
Right.
I gave him their first concert ever. I gave a group
Oh,
of
I would remember it.
of arguably,
Yep.
yeah, you were there. That was
Yeah.
Trap House. That was
Yeah.
Trap House's album release
Yeah.
party. They came
Yeah.
to the first RTU, and when I met Nubs and Snowman, I was so taken back by their just who they were as people. Like we got an albino brother that's legally blind, and we
Right.
got a young man with no arm and no legs,
Right.
Yeah.
and their little brother Frosty. And I was
They
like,
rocked the house,
R&B
man.
Rush.
They
what
sure
the
did.
fuck?
They rocked the
My
house.
little homie from the hood called me, and he was like, "Hey, bro, I got this group, and like they're special."
Mhm.
And I was like, special how so? Like special or like what you mean? And he was like, homeboy ain't got no arms and no legs. He can roll a blunt. And his
Yeah.
homeboy is albino. And I was like, okay, can they rap? And he was like, they can rap their ass off.
Yeah.
And I was like, bring them by. So they pulled up and like, we didn't manage them. Like I used to say I'm their manager, but I never locked them into a contract.
Yeah.
because we had a lot of opportunities present themselves that would have hindered.
Mhm.
So we were just behind them for the first 3-4 years of their career. They headlined the festival every year up until year 5.
Mhm.
They were always at the festival. You know what I'm saying? And like people slandered us
Yeah.
because we were giving them an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And because they were different, they called me a vulture and blah 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 and all this. And I'm like, so you telling me because I'm helping, I'm doing what I feel is what needs to be done.
Right.
Like fuck the bullshit. Like this is dope.
Mhm.
Like just listen to them. Like
Yeah.
don't
No,
look
no.
at them. Listen to them.
No,
They're
they're a dope
fucking
group.
dope. They
They're
make
dope.
great music.
They are.
So you telling me because I provide an opportunity to these young men that I'm the bad guy? I think you got something else going on inside you, and that's on you, player.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like they have issues within themselves of
Mhm.
either whether they didn't make it and they're bitter, or they attempted to do something similar to what we do and were
Right.
unsuccessful.
Mhm.
And they have issues within themselves. So I feel bad for people that hate on the festival because they're just hella missing out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's dope. Like just come have fun. Like drink
Oh,
some
definitely.
beer, blow some trees, listen to some music, celebrate the
Mhm.
culture, and see what
Right.
your city and state have to offer.
It's and also it's one big got everybody coming over. There's one big network thing.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
You
Like,
meet everyone, man.
Like I said, I met Jamel over there. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
really,
J1.
yeah.
I met a lot of people
Yeah.
at the
how many
festival,
people
and it's
normally
a network game.
audition? for the-
Audition. Oh man, the auditions are insane. So we do an open mic once a month for like the 5 to 6 months leading up to the festival. We call it the
Mhm.
ultimate open mic. And the reason I call it that is because I can show you a video right now, man. We get a line from the front door at Monarch all the way to Washington. And it's like 4 or 5 people wide.
Man.
So it's not like a singular line. It's like a crowd.
Wow.
And it takes up the whole sidewalk, and everybody getting off work is hella pissed because they gotta like walk through this line, and it's all MCs and goons and
Mhm.
rappers and like you can see the people getting off work hella uncomfortable walking past the crowd. But it's funny to watch. But that's just what it's about, man. We bring them, we let them rock. If they're dope and they have a positive attitude and they're not on no fucking egotistical, delusional fuck shit, which we get.
Mhm.
A few people that hey man, maybe this event isn't for you.
Right.
But we do reserve the right to refuse service to anyone. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
And if you come at me on
as
some,
any business.
yeah, they come at me on some, my booking rate is 10 bands. What's happening? And I'm like, that's what's up. Good luck with that.
Right.
I wish you the best. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And they come down and be like, all right, but how do I get on stage? And I'm like, well, let's talk about it. We have to have an honest conversation. Like, I'm not opposed to breaking bread, but you got to have a fair market value in order to
Mhm.
justify that. You know what I'm saying? We have unique relationships with everybody on the bill, and everybody on the bill is going to eat.
Definitely.
Right.
If they've got hustle and drive and they're going to
Yeah.
work, like
Right.
you got to work, man. This event, is a 7-figure event. It's a fucking gnarly event.
And that's what people got to understand too, man. That it costs money to make money.
Yeah.
And people got to realize that you are spending a lot of money and energy and time is money, getting this shit together. And their little nickels and dimes that they're putting together, their little tickets that they're complaining about, it's not part of the big picture, man. Just the picture is huge, and that's just a small part of getting it all together. And I think people take too much time focusing on the fucking tickets and not realizing that it's just part of the puzzle. And once everything comes together, that it helps everyone in the whole time.
They slander it because they think that we're out here like balling out on the festival.
Right.
And ultimately last year was the most successful festival we've ever had. It exceeded everyone's expectation, 15,000 people over the 2-day span. But what we weren't public about is that we went over budget and we lost 50 racks last year. So when they clown and talk about, he made 150 bands, he's a millionaire, blah,
right.
blah, blah. I'm in the trenches. My homeboy is on his deathbed. Artist signed to my label, Trap House, rest in peace. I love him.
That's pretty trap.
And we really considered just throwing in the towel. Like, all right, this is it. We're done. Because I had to work out payment plans. I'm still paying debts off from the festival last year. But that's business,
Right.
and I'm not going to quit. I ain't no quitter.
Right.
So it's bigger than me. It's bigger than RTU. It's bigger than rap. Like, this is a community function that influxes the economy for years to come. And we have to, understand that. So, like, nobody's aware of the struggles and challenges that we deal with. Nobody's aware that, saying the city was flexing because we interrupted businesses because they weren't ready for 15,000 people. We only
Right.
prepped them for 10.
Right.
PD was like, yo, you did 15,000 people. You realize that you disrupted
Other
businesses
so-
Yeah.
because of that. Like, you
Mhm.
shut down
so
streets.
they lost money and they're going to be upset about that situation.
Yeah, man.
Right.
So, like, it's just lack of understanding because we don't cry online. We're not on there like, oh, blah blah blah. Like they ain't gonna never see me whine on the internet. Like that shit's corny. You're a lame for that.
Right.
You just want attention.
Right.
And like I'm cool, man. My wife gives me attention.
Right.
All the attention I need. Like I don't need attention from strangers because I'm going through a struggle. Like we all struggle, man. All human beings. Like it's what it is. It's life.
Yeah.
It's just whether or not we're public about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hate when people. I seen comments, people calling you culture vulture or whatever,
Hey, run it.
and you being, being white and being black culture or hip hop or whatever. But you care. You know what I'm saying? Culture versus somebody just trying to profit off of people. Don't care about the culture.
Right.
Make money.
All the community.
Yeah, all the community.
Right.
A lot of the
Justus.
slander it comes from the ethnicity issue,
Yeah.
and you know what? Shit, I've been at the barbecue. I'm with the shits. I've been here. This ain't something new to me. You know what I'm saying? Like this isn't like something that I would say, hey, I'm gonna try to throw rap concerts. No, man, I've been rapping since I was 8 years old.
Right.
My father was a pastor. He's been beating my ass since I was 8 years old because I loved hip hop.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't believe the culture that I gravitated towards, and low key was because of Christian rap.
Right.
Run DMC, DC Talk, like they used to bust in these kids from the East St. Louis projects, and I was living in Illinois, and at the church, they
Oh, yeah, that's right. You
I
talked
didn't
about
get
that.
along. I didn't get along with the church kids because I was in the back listening to Public Enemy and NWA,
Yeah.
and like I did not do well with church kids. Like they weren't
Right.
fucking with me.
And you
I
lived
was
in
fighting.
Belleville, right?
Correct. I lived
Right,
in
yeah,
Illinois
yeah.
for 5 years. My father was in the military. We lived in
Yeah, we
like
talked about that one
we were
time. I forgot
stationed.
about that.
Yeah, we were stationed on like 8 different bases.
'Cause,
But
you
at the
know,
time, we
I'm
were.
from East St. Louis.
Yeah, he knows. He knows.
Every
he knows
every
St. Louis.
episode did say from.
I'm from East
Dog,
St. Louis.
listen, man. You meet anybody from Chicago, Philly, St. Louis, New York, they're either vegan, cross training, or from that city. Like, oh, you know, I'm from Chicago, right? Did I remind y'all? And it's like Jesus Christ, we know, but it's just because we got a lot of transplants. So, anyways, like these kids that come in and like I would listen to their tapes and like I gravitated towards them because they embraced me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm obnoxious, I'm loud, like, and they were more embracing of my, the way I get down.
Right.
And so I just gravitated. Michael Jordan was my first hero.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sports heroes were my first heroes. They were all black. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I love sneakers.
Dog, you've
Which-
lived
yeah.
the culture. You've lived it. You was in the group.
Mm-hmm.
You started up your own thing, and like I said, you gave other people Trap House the opportunity. Man,
Man, Trap would have done
you
that
got
on
it,
his
man.
own though. All I did was motivate him to do it himself. Like he went on to do it on his own. You know what I'm saying? And
no,
like,
this shows you.
I'll
was
forever
raw.
regret till the day I die that we didn't sign him on that first event
Mhm.
because he even put the logo on his album. Like we were partnered, but like I don't ever want to hinder someone, and I don't ever want to take shine from something I know they're going to do on their own. If I can just give them free game, like listen, let's just do this,
Right.
and then you take the credit because I don't want it. It's not. I mean, I'm cool. Like
Right.
I want you to get this, and like watching his stock rise, and watching him really pop,
Mhm.
like that was enough.
Right.
Like I was like, man, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
That was King AZ right there.
Definitely King.
So let's get back to. Is there anything else you want people to know about the Arizona Hip Hop Festival?
Man,
Specifics. Definitely come out, bring your baby mama, bring your girlfriend, your side chick.
All three of them at the same time.
different
Yeah,
days,
bring 'em on
different
different
days.
days. Different
It's a
ways.
2-day event. I split them up.
Yeah.
I split them up. You know what? It's just
split it up into hourly blocks.
Hourly blocks.
Yeah.
you know what?
Yeah.
Just that this is an event of peace and positivity, and we come together to celebrate. We go back to our bullshit on Monday.
Right, right.
Mhm.
It's about the culture, and it's holy ground. Like there will be no smoke. There's never been any smoke.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a 7 years no violence company,
That's
Yeah.
dope.
and we pride ourselves in that. That's why the mayor supports us. That's why Congressman Stanton supports us.
That's what it's about, man.
So there's really no like we said it all, man. Like just come out and float your flag and fly your colors and celebrate your neighborhood or your music or your label or your homie's label or his music. Like it's about the culture, man. And we come out and we celebrate and have a good time. Well, then we're gonna
Yeah,
look forward to next year because next year gonna be even bigger. I promise.
Yo,
I guarantee
Probably
that. For
start
sure.
planning
Definitely-
next year.
definitely-
We're already
Day
planning
after
it.
the
We
event starts.
we plan it months in advance. Like
sure.
before a festival has even happened, we're already planning next
starting
year.
planning next year.
So like we start planning 2020 3 months before 2019.
That's dope.
There you go.
Damn.
Word.
Yeah, man.
Say get your
It
tickets.
takes us about a year and a half to plan
Yeah.
the festival.
Get your tickets. We also giving away tickets on DanYo&Tita podcast. So,
Man, give them away. Give them away. Every
we
hour
gave
we
away
giving
two.
away
We got
4
two winners
tickets.
already.
Yeah, winners. Yeah, come on.
So
Let's get them.
we're gonna play a little game with you real quick.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Okay, run
We
it.
got some
Is you
trivia
ready?
for you.
Some trivia.
All right.
Trivia. Let's see
And
what you know.
let's break down what the trivia game is about.
This week we're doing local artist trivia, hip hop trivia.
Okay.
So
And if
So this is Arizona hip hop trivia.
Yeah.
Arizona
yes,
hip hop trivia,
Arizona hip hop trivia.
Oh man, I hope I don't suck.
is it
That would be such
Hey,
a
John
detriment.
Blaze got all five. bro.
Basically, make everything I said bullshit.
John Blaze was the first one to go 5 for 5.
Yeah.
Went 5 for
He went 5
5.
for
Yeah.
5.
And
Blaze.
No life.
No lifelines or nothing.
High key Blaze is the biggest Arizona hip hop fan in the world.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Like nobody knows Arizona hip hop music and believes in Arizona hip hop music more than John Blaze.
Most
Man.
definitely.
Like he's more passionate about it than I am because he's
Wow.
passionate about the records.
Right.
Yeah.
He can tell you when records came out,
Yeah, man.
who has them, who got the hottest single in the street
Man,
right
yeah.
now, who's bubbling on the south side, who's bubbling on the west
Dude's
side.
dope, man.
Like
Yeah, he
he
is.
he really has his ear to the street as a DJ, and that's
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
he's a vital part of what we do.
Yeah,
Definitely.
definitely.
So if you get 3 out of the 5, we donate the $50.
$50.
To what?
Your favorite charity or donation?
Yeah.
Or,
Your charity of choice will
Organization.
donate $50 too.
All right.
Okay.
3 out of 5.
Please.
Right.
you-
Let's
I see
go.
a smile on him.
But if
like
but
that,
if I
right?
don't, I gotta donate it.
No, no.
It's a wager.
We're gonna donate it on your behalf.
Yeah.
You get the 3
Yeah,
out of
let's
5
do it.
right.
Let's do it. What you got for me?
Question number 1. Having been the drive behind Nasty Boy's undertaking, MC Magic was primed to release his second solo album in 2006. What was the name of that album?
The single was "So Fly" with I believe Frankie J, and the album, oh man, it wasn't $1 Million Mexican. That just came out. It was, you know what? I don't know the name of his album. I can see the cover. He's in a white hoodie. It's all
Yup.
black.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can see the-
Can't-
I can see the title. Like it's like Magic City.
Yes,
that's
Magic
it.
City.
What do you know? I didn't think I was gonna know it.
He talked himself through it.
Yeah, he's like that memory thing,
Yep.
stuff like, don't forget you have 3 lifelines.
Oh, I have a lifeline.
Yeah, you got the fellas over
Yeah, the
here.
fellas
You
we
guys
got
right
right
here.
I can't call Blaze.
No. Hey, if you want to call Blaze, we'll add that on there.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay,
for you.
okay. So
Alright.
let's go. Come on, 1 for 1.
Question number 2. The group Injury Reserve, thank you, consists of rappers Steppa J, Groggs, and Richie with a T, and producer Parker Corey. In 2015, the group's self-released album was called what?
You know what? I don't even know the name of this album because they threw a lot of shade at the community when they dropped that project, and they said Arizona didn't have a scene.
They did.
Yeah, I remember
They
that.
said it
And-
a couple of times.
And low key, they signed up for the Arizona Hip Hop Festival, and I called their manager at the time,
Mhm.
and I was like, "So you guys want to get on the festival, but you're throwing all this shade at the scene?"
Mhm.
And he was like, "Yeah, but we just trying to get on shows." And I'm like, "Man, it's just not a good fit." And I regret that. I should have humbled myself
Yeah.
and been like, "Listen, let's just figure this out because I'd love to have you." But because that they were on that, like, in my opinion, fuck shit. Like I follow them. I dig fucking dude. Jailbreak the Tesla is incredible, and we actually considered booking them for Sunday this year, but they're on tour in Europe.
Mm.
So it was unfortunate we weren't able to get them on the festival this year. But I couldn't tell you what the name of their first album was.
No. What was the name?
The name of that album, Live from the Dentist Office.
9 for the dinner's off. Number 3.
And yeah, it was unfortunate that they said those couple
Yeah,
things.
they did
about
say
the,
that. We remember
No,
that.
they did it.
but
I know
try
why
to
they
give 'em a
did it.
little love.
I know why they did it. They did it to make noise, and they made
Yeah.
noise instantly.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
not mad
well-
at them for it. But at the time, I was so passionate. I was
Right.
like, "Yo, fuck y'all."
Definitely.
Yeah.
And
I'm cool.
I understand how you feel on that because I feel the same way a lot of people. And when you down the scene, man, it doesn't
Yeah.
really put the scene, make the scene feel better. And everybody want to be so negative about the scene. And I think just negativity, period, doesn't really help.
How can
Everybody-
I
it
include
doesn't
them in
really
a
help.
community event
Mhm.
when they're out here like, nah, because like we rock with the streets.
Yeah.
And if you on that and the streets check you on it
Right.
Yeah.
and you ain't with the shits, that could get real ugly real
Don't
quick.
never know what's
Right.
gonna happen.
And I don't want that energy at the festival. It's not about not wanting them on it. It's like, now y'all might get beat up. And like, I don't want that, especially at this event.
If
So
you're
like, I'm
running
just
a-
going to
an
have to
issue,
pass.
yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
But they're good dudes, man. They
Yeah.
make great fucking music. They make great fucking music. That project, I got it on my Apple Music. I love that project.
Cool.
Number 3.
Question number 3. Hot Rod released his first single in August of 2006 called Be Easy. Who was the featured singer?
Mary J. Blige, produced by Dr. Dre.
Damn.
I couldn't even finish the question.
Mind reading.
Come on, bro. Come on. That's like one of the most legendary
was easy.
singles in the
Yeah,
history of Arizona hip hop.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, that was easy. That was an easy.
like
one.
it's so easy. But he was on 106 in Park with AJ and Freeze. Like,
yeah, man.
Yeah.
like he was on a Dr. Dre record with Mary J.
Yeah,
Blige,
facts.
and he had a bar about money talking about nacho cheese. And I wanted to throw up. I was like, oh my god, this is fucking. Who said that? How did Dre say that was okay? How did
Who
Jimmy
let that
Iovine?
pass?
How did
Oh,
Jimmy
that line was
Iovine? How did Jimmy Iovine and 50 be like, yeah, that's it. That's how you represent Arizona. Good job, buddy.
They thought the song was so catchy.
Man, that song was incredible, but Rod was just, it wasn't it, man. Like
I heard it was originally 50's.
it was 50's record.
track,
Yeah.
50 took himself off and put Rod on it.
Rod on
From
it,
what I
yeah.
heard, and he dropped hella mixtapes that we supported the shit out of, but he never released an album.
Yeah,
Nope.
never really came out.
Never released it,
All right,
man.
question number
Shut
4.
Question number 4.
You got 2 right.
2 for 3.
2 for 3. Jarbo released his debut album, The Call,
Jarbo from the Survivalists.
in 2006.
Oh, you talking about Mega Ran? Raheem.
Yeah.
Mega Man.
Okay. Well, so what's the question?
Trying to get you with the question. You can't. We're trying to
He's
get
like,
you. We're
he's
trying to
like,
get
wait,
you.
wait,
You tried to put a stomp on
He's
it.
like, wait a minute.
All right. But he is noted for releasing an album called Mega Ran, a tribute to Mega Man, video game series. In what year?
So, what year did the Mega Ran album drop? Is the question, correct?
Correct.
Tough one, too.
2008.
Nope.
No.
Close. It was 2007.
Oh, man.
That was a tough one, though.
It was.
Don't
Yeah.
forget to
Yeah.
use your lifeline.
Don't use your life.
No, he was close. That was pretty close.
I don't need no lifeline.
He's like, if I'm going down, I'm going down by myself.
Right.
Oh shoot! 2 for
And-
2 or 2 for 4.
The last one right here.
Last one. This is the one
Last
to make or
question.
break it.
What year did Judge the Boss sign to Louder Than Life Sony Records?
Are you talking about his deal with Amari? When Amari Stoudemire signed him, is that his label?
Mhm.
Mhm.
No,
I think that's the other one.
that's all them. No,
Yeah,
that
no,
was
that's-
So he signed 2 deals. You're
Yeah.
talking about
The
the
second
deal
deal.
that he
The second
signed
deal.
Second
with,
deal.
with Hell Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, the hell
with
yeah.
the Hell Yeah record.
Mm-hmm.
Hell Yeah came out in 6 years ago. So what year is it? 2019. So Hell Yeah came out in 2013. He signed a year later. So 2014 is what I think it is.
2014 is
That's
correct.
it.
Guys,
Got it.
That's-
3 out of
that's
5.
right.
All right. So what's your charity that
charity
you
are we
want to
donating to?
donate it to?
If we could, let's buy 2 T-shirts to the Arizona Hip Hop Festival from AZ Bonafide,
Okay.
and let's give away 4 tickets with each shirt.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool.
But they got to go to the store, they got to purchase it, and they got to take a
Mention the
picture,
DanYo&Tita.
All right.
Okay.
hold it, and shout you guys out as purchasing those shirts
Cool.
for
All right,
them.
y'all heard it.
Yeah.
Y'all heard it. That's how you
You
get your
heard it.
tickets. There you go. All right, we're gonna get into. We'll speed things up and get right into my man Nate the Great right here.
I actually don't have a sit there down.
What?
What?
I wasn't as
Hold on, Nate.
Hold on, I didn't even understand what you said.
I
What?
don't have a sit there up down. My segment is sit there up down, so usually I get a little irritated or bothered because somebody that said some shit or something happened.
I know you bothered about something, but we're just not going to talk about the scandal in Arizona right now.
I tried to get an interview. For
No,
Nah,
you
you're
really-
not gonna
we
do
ain't
that.
gonna talk about
You don't
that.
wanna
We ain't
tell
gonna
him
talk
to
about
He only
Go
does
down.
interviews in closed rooms.
that. So we since you don't got to step down, we'll just get right into the word on the streets then.
All right.
And we'll speed things up real quick.
All
So
right.
we're on the street news. New Jersey man arrested for asking farmers permission to have sex with their animals.
Man.
He asked
Yeah, he
permission.
asked
Asked permission and then threatened them when they refused.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
He trying to have sex with what? The cows? The goats?
the gals, the pigs, the goats.
Sheep.
He went to
What?
them, knocked on the door. Do you mind, offer some money to
Trying to
the
hit.
animals?
I'm trying to hit.
Man, if you came to my house with that request, you would
Man.
100% get assaulted.
Yep. Johnson and Johnson hit with an
Oh,
$8
man.
billion verdict over a drug linked to a boy growing breasts.
Damn.
Chemical
What is
in-
it, a steroid?
I don't even know how to pronounce what the word was,
Hormone,
but some type of
something.
hormone that's in the Johnson Johnson to making the boy breast grow. Indiana couple arrested for neglect after claiming they adopted a daughter that was actually an adult that was trying to kill them. So they adopted a little girl
What?
that was actually
An
what
adult?
they thought was a little girl. They adopted her.
Okay.
But
So when
the
the-
actions that like adult and try to kill them, leaving things here, leaving things here.
But they got
Nice.
arrested.
They neglected them and moved to Canada. They got arrested.
Hold
This
on.
little
so
girl's
I-
33 years old.
What
Real
the
life,
hell?
Really 33?
33 years old.
But
So
she
she
was
was a
playing
little
a
person?
16-year-old.
Little person. Oh, like a little person. Yeah.
Wow.
Hold on. So I don't understand the crime. Did they adopt her and they were aware of her age?
So
They weren't aware. They didn't know how.
So this is
They think
so
this
the
was a
foster
9-year-old.
care system fucked up.
Somebody messed
Yeah,
up.
hell yeah.
the
They thought
adopted agency fucked up on
Yeah, they
that.
thought the little girl was 9,
That's
really
insane.
33.
Oh my God.
this
That's
actually-
fraud. That's major
Actually,
fraud.
the little person is with another family right now.
What
Wow.
the
It's
hell?
not-
Isn't
Yeah.
there a movie called like The Orphan or something?
Yeah,
that-
Yeah.
It is an orphan.
Oh
What the
God,
hell?
that's scary.
That reminds me of Bugs Bunny when that dude was smoking the cigars and shit. All of a sudden, he was like 40, 50 years old, and they had adopted him and shit.
I mean, yeah, that's
And a 9-year-old was charged with 5 counts of first-degree murder after setting a fire that killed 3 children and 2 adults.
Oh my
They're
goodness.
Yeah.
charging them
that's
as
messed up.
an adult.
they're charging a 9-year-old as an adult.
Yes.
As an adult. Yeah.
He's not going to have the capacity to understand what he did.
No, he don't. But it seems like he kind of did it intentionally.
Oh, he thought he was just
arson,
doing. He just
yeah.
thought he was just starting a fire,
Did
playing
he
with some
do
fire.
something to make sure that they was trapped in the house or something?
He probably did it while
They
everybody
didn't get all
sleep.
that detail, yeah.
Man, shit.
I'm surprised nobody was from Florida.
Yeah, not this week.
Not
not
this
this
week,
week.
No.
Boy, you
Not
love
this week.
picking on Florida.
I love Florida. Well, they got the best news
They
stories, man.
do.
They had all the crazy people.
Yeah, yeah.
And this week, I'm kind of backwards. We got the officer this week who's mad about the social media posts. So he's going to sue because he was getting suspended for his post. Police sergeant under investigation for alleged violating the department's social media policy, and he filed a lawsuit on Thursday against the city and the department's police chief. The lawsuit stems from an internal department investigation which flagged Sergeant Juan Hernandez by the Phoenix Police Department Standards Bureau.
Oh, he Phoenix PD.
Yeah, he's Phoenix.
Yeah.
The review looked at hundreds of social media posts from officers in Phoenix and several other cities on a Plan View project. We talked about it
Yeah.
several times. And basically, he's suing because I guess he was fired or reprimanded because of those posts.
Should have been posting dumb shit on Facebook.
Right,
Yeah.
right. He was mad.
I wonder how
because-
many people lose their jobs because they just don't have any like tact online.
You gotta know how to block the people out.
Yeah.
I did it. I know.
Man, my mama's not allowed to. My mother is not allowed to follow me on Facebook.
Yeah.
I let her follow me on Instagram because she loves it. She be watching too.
I have
It's just
I have
pictures and videos on Instagram. You
Yeah.
can't
I have deleted my mother 3 times since she keep friend requesting me back. Every
Shit,
time.
I blocked my dad. I blocked my dad. I temporarily block people and then unblock them.
We got a body was found in a canal near Metro Center Mall earlier Friday morning. Crews were dispatched to the area of 29th and Dunlap Avenues for reports of a person in the water. Fire officials say when they arrived, they located with a person in the water. Investigating still on the incident. So anybody find anything on that, you might want to contact them.
Word.
But that's the stories I got for this week here.
On the streets. So we doing middle of the week? We doing
we're going into the middle of the week this week for this
Okay.
week's
Yeah,
Sister
we're just
Social.
because we knew you guys were gonna have questions and stuff, so
So we
we're
wanted
like-
to
we're going straight to the middle of the week because we know people be hungry.
definitely
Yeah.
my stomach over here growling
It
already.
is, my God.
Okay.
So this week we're doing chicken Slovakia or Slouvaki, if that's how it's pronounced. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, but it's
Slovakia.
Greek. It's just basically chicken breast chopped up into dice-sized pieces. You gotta marinate it with some minced garlic, olive oil, oregano, salt, pepper, some lemon juice, and some just basically that. You want to marinate it for like 15 to 30 minutes. Once you do that, you want to put it in a broiler for like 15, 20 minutes.
Mhm.
Flip it 15, 20 minutes on the next side just to make sure it's all the way done through. and then you're gonna place it on pita bread
Okay.
with feta cheese and
Just
you
running
could
all
do
the recipe in his head. He right now.
romaine. You could do romaine, arugula, tomatoes, whatever toppings that you
So
like.
you're
to put
basically
on the
making like a
sandwich
gyro.
buns. Like a,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
basically like a
Open face,
gyro.
An open face gyro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
open face gyro, pretty much is basically what it is. So, you guys give me a minute. I'll come back and
Most
we'll give it a try.
definitely.
All
We
right.
gon-
Oh,
we
you
get ready
made
to
it?
wrap-
You're gonna go get food?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always food.
We're gonna get ready to wrap it up with Justus real quick. Man, Arizona. Let me say it right. I want Justus to say it right, and with his power, because you got that mixtape voice.
Right.
Ladies, though. I want you to tell him what it is, boss man.
6th annual Arizona Hip Hop Festival Select presents powered by events.com and 4
There you go. You already know we get your tickets. Go to DanYo&Tita podcast Facebook page to win tickets as well. You got Justus. Thank you for coming, sir.
Thanks for
Appreciate
coming,
you.
man. We
Appreciate
you,
y'all
bro.
for having me. I'd love to send you. Oh, yeah. We really do appreciate your contribution to the Arizona hip hop community. We couldn't do this without you.
Definitely.
Salute.
Appreciate
Yes, sir.
it, man.
Another dope year.
Most definitely. Time
For the
for
lean
perspective.
perspective,
Yes, sir.
we're gonna talk about how Mr. Brown, who was killed, and on the Amber Geiger case.
Yeah.
We got a lot of people saying that they think it's a conspiracy, that the Dallas police might have set this up.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people are trusting the police in this situation, which I understand. No one's trusts the police.
Yeah.
But looking at the account of what's going on, and kind of according to the arrest warrant affidavits, we have in the death of Joshua Brown, we have Green. I don't know. Let me get his first name. Oh, Thaddeus Charles Green. He got out of his car to talk to Brown, and that led to an altercation. Jacarius Mitchell told police that he got out of the car and Brown shot him.
Oh.
And then he heard 2 more gunshots as he fell back into the car. According to the affidavit, Green then got into the car with Brown's gun and a backpack containing marijuana, police said. Mitchell and Jacarius Mitchell's uncle then dropped off his nephew at the hospital, police said. Jacarius Mitchell told police Green directed him to lie about where he was shot and who he was with. According to the affidavit, the rental car, Silver 2020 Kia, was returned to Alexandria on Sunday. Officers found a holster in Brown's waistband, but no gun. According to an affidavit, when police searched Brown's apartment, they seized 12 pounds of marijuana, 143 grams of THC cartridges, and $4,000 cash.
Yeah.
Jacarius Mitchell was placed in custody at Parkland Memorial Hospital. Michael Mitchell was apprehended Tuesday night in Marksville, Louisiana. Green remains at large. Green was arrested in April on a pair of drug charges in Denton County and released on $3,000 bond. Court records show neither of the Mitchells has any history in North Texas, and none of the 3 has any apparent previous known connections to Brown.
Wow.
So
Dang.
people were saying that why would these people travel 400 miles
Yeah.
to get this going to rob this guy? I can't answer that question. I can't for sure on that one.
Yeah.
But hey man, from all the evidence,
Yeah.
it looks like your boy was selling dope.
I kind of thought he was.
I mean, he got 12 pounds of marijuana
It's
in
clear.
this.
I don't know
car,
if they
in his
planted
home.
this shit.
I don't know his plan, but it's crazy.
Man,
This is a crazy situation.
It's
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
crazy.
No,
And like I
Yeah.
said, it's another brother shot and using senseless gun violence.
Yeah.
And it looked like they was trying to rob him. Was what
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They thought he had a little money and they was trying to get him and trying to rob him, man. And that's the situations, man. And and like I was saying the other day, we always jump to conspiracy,
Yeah.
and it makes when conspiracy really does go down, nobody want to listen because we keep on crying wolf.
Yeah.
We can't cry wolf every time, and no, you know the story. No, everybody stopped listening.
Yeah.
So let's, what I'm saying, this guy was a witness,
Mhm.
but it's from the looks of it, unless they find some evidence that somebody planted this, went and planted the pounds and stuff in his house. It looks like he was, doing some wrong things, and we all do wrong things. None of us are perfect, and this gentleman wasn't perfect, but it just looked like he just got caught messing with some guys who was on some stupid shit, man. So, and like my whole point is that we can't just jump straight to these conspiracy theories, man. We have to find out the evidence first, look at some facts, and then make your decision on that situation, man. We need to stop doing that. It's the lean perspective this today.
All right.
Let's stop jumping to the conspiracy theories so fast. Let's at least see the evidence and some of the information throughout the case.
Most definitely. That is crazy, man. That's yeah, I want some of that. No, apple juice. Yeah, that's a crazy story, man. I don't know. I really those type of cases I really don't speak on. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to say about it. It's kind of crazy.
Nah, it's crazy as fuck.
Man, I really hope that Nate had did his sit down.
I couldn't figure one out, man.
Man, you got one, man.
No,
You know.
Right.
Do your boy. Do your boy, man.
Yeah, I can't do
Go ahead, do it.
because there's still a possibility I could get the interview. I don't want to fuck it up.
All right.
He's paranoid right now, though.
You don't pour it on.
That dude don't even go outside.
No. But I think shout out to Justus for coming through for the interview. And get your tickets for the Arizona Hip Hop Festival.
ASAP.
Stay tuned to the DanYo&Tita Facebook page for we're giving away free tickets. Free pairs of tickets.
Yep.
Even family pairs of tickets. Incredible. But Aisha's on her way back. So I want to say this. I want to give a big shout out and happy birthday to Dick. Happy birthday, Dick. Let's sing happy birthday, everybody.
Happy birthday, babe.
Happy birthday to you.
Y'all ridiculous.
Happy birthday to you.
It has put you on the spot.
Happy birthday to Dick. Happy birthday to you.
So, how y'all like
Right on, man.
You did the podcast on your birthday. I appreciate that.
So,
So many of them, I don't care no more.
there's pita chips over there to go with the sandwiches if you guys want to
in the
go
middle
ahead.
of the week, you already know.
Middle of the week this week.
Delicious.
It's sponsored by Stacy's We Wish.
So what you guys think? Justin said we did the meat's perfect. It's,
Yeah.
he said it perfect just the way a Greek would make it. The only thing that was missing was the tzatziki sauce.
Yeah, because we don't have. Why didn't you have the tzatziki sauce?
Because not everybody like it.
But
Tita don't like it.
but
But he said we could also do ranch or,
sometimes the sauce, it's kind of more healthier like this, isn't it?
without the sauce. Yeah.
Man, it has a lot of flavor to it without the sauce already because of all the spices and the seasoning that's already on it. Yeah.
Most definitely. So thank y'all for tuning in this week to DanYo&Tita podcast episode 16. We out.
Holla holla.